We all used to play games as a kid, whether you were an Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo. But we're going to be talking about some of our favorite nostalgia games. Let's get into it. I'm joined by my co-host Connor.
Yo, oh my god, nostalgia games. I've got Xbox
Now,
games up here, right? Sorry to interrupt. I've got Xbox games up here. From the original Xbox to the 360 to the One. So we could be talking for a while.
I'm going to bring out a banger nostalgia game straight away.
Okay.
Skylanders. Now, please tell me you played Skylanders.
I didn't own it, but when I went around my friend's house, he had, the system and the toys and stuff. And we used to play. So I played it maybe like 5 times.
I used to play the ever-living shit out of Skylanders. Like, I used to go to my friend's house, and all the time I'd just be like, can we play Skylanders? He'd have the portal, he'd have all the new characters, all the new games. I'd go back home to mine, and I'd have, some of them different, still play it. Skylanders was such a big part of my childhood, honestly. I remember spending countless hours on it.
It was so, unique in the fact that, you had toys. So they were, kind of ornaments for your shelves, but they're also useful. Like, I got stuff up here, which is like this, just some stupid little hole. There's no use in that. It just kind of looks cool. It's kind of hard to see with the light.
Yeah, it's cool.
But it just looks cool. It just sits there. But with Skylanders, you could have that and play the game with it. That was the whole point.
And they just kept bringing out new ones as well, which was just nice. It's not like they just brought out a set of Skylanders and I was like, okay, that's the entire Skylanders. With each game, they kept bringing out new ones and updating them. So you had constantly new stuff for the game, new content technically. So granted, not all the games were great, but nostalgia driven. I like all of them.
It's definitely nostalgic because if that happened again, let's say Skylanders were never a thing, it was it hit at the right time. It only lasted how many years did it last? Not too many. But for a game franchise, usually you expect them to last for as big as Skylanders to last for 20 years.
So Skylanders lasted. So Skylanders Giants, Skylanders Swap Team, Skylanders Trap Force, and there was an Imaginators one. So it was 5 or 6 games, I think. They stopped just around the PS4, kind of near the end of PS4, a bit before.
So 2018 maybe.
Yeah, but it was obviously primarily during the Wii era that it was big.
Yeah.
When you had the motion controls, the everything like that, that's when Skylanders was big.
Games like that are just so nostalgic for the fact that they couldn't happen now. Right?
No, definitely.
If it came out now, no one would care.
Yeah. No one would it's like Disney Infinity. Disney tried to copy Skylanders and do that Disney Infinity,
I remember now, yeah.
But it wasn't the same. Skylanders had already kind of perfected it. That Disney's just wasn't that good compared to it. I don't think any game company now could do a game similar to Skylanders and it be good.
No, because it requires because it's from a business point of view. Obviously, as we see, game companies just get more greedy over the years, right? So they want higher margins. So creating these little plastic figures you have to ship out and and all, it just costs too much money. When you could just release a battle pass like Fortnite, which was the spearhead for that. I don't agree with it, but I'm just saying, with Fortnite, and then just make loads of people just bought the Kaiju number 8 skin on Fortnite as an example.
Hey, it's a good skin.
it's a good skin, but you see what I mean? It's easier to do that and just press numbers and buttons and get someone to design it and draw it. Who's really talented than it is to make actual figures, but. I'm sure. Do you still have any of the figures, or they kind of been lost to time?
I vividly remember selling them at a car boot sale.
Right. Okay.
Because at the time when I was getting rid of stuff, I was just I don't want anything to do with gaming anymore. I was just focusing on other stuff, and I was I don't need these. Sold them off at a car boot. It was
damn.
All the original ones and Giants, the portal and everything. I think I got a tenner or 15 quid for it.
Yeah. And
I was hell yeah. And I never seen them again.
Never seen them again. That's sad because it's the way they just sit on the shelf, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like amiibos nowadays. Nintendo's got the amiibos, which is just like
Right.
collectible like figures. And some games you can like put the figures on the screen and it adds like a bonus to the game.
Right. Okay.
But it's not like you play as that character or anything.
Yeah.
You maybe just get like an extra reward or like a banner icon, let's say.
Yeah. Also, how quick you could do it. You could literally go bam bam. From what I remember at my friend's house, you could literally just like, and then the game would just do it straight away. Now, right, it'd probably be some sort of loading screen, loading time, synchronization. Back in the day, bam bam. You know, because that's what it could do.
Yeah, you used to take it off and like immediately the game would be like, oh, you haven't got a character on that portal. Place a character on, and then you'd put it on, and it'd zoom you straight back into the game.
But the times I did play, obviously I didn't have any of myself, because I was more playing like, because I was mainly an Xbox kid, but I was playing like, I remember I had a group of 5 people, and funny enough, 2 of them were called Ben, right? I remember all their names: Benny Boy, Ben681, RP Dom, and whoever the other one was, forgot his name. But sometimes we'd swap in and out. But we used to play Left 4 Dead 2 demo. And you would get the first 2 campaign maps of like the parish or whatever, and you could do like jumps to get out the map and play like verses and stuff or whatever. Bro, those were the days. Those are like the nostalgic games for me. Going before that, Pokemon as a kid, like hiding in your bed.
Oh yeah.
Your dad's coming upstairs. You quickly turn it off, and hide or flip it down and turn the volume down so you're playing Pokemon or something. Pokemon like Blue Mystery Dungeon. Good times. Good times.
You talk about Left 4 Dead brought back another memory. See, I was a Call of Duty kid, but not just a regular Call of Duty kid. I was a zombies Call of Duty kid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever used to play Call of Duty Zombies?
Yes, I never used to do any Easter eggs, but I used to play just casually. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, just
modded lobbies, everything.
I did Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, World at War, even Black Ops 3. Like, I used to just play zombies non-stop, just grinding for high rounds, like trying to get better at the game. That was like my game for like the longest time.
But my Xbox account, which I don't have access to anymore, and I don't know the email or anything like that, but it was Koi Skinny. That was the name. Koi. It was like KOIS Kinney, KINY 10, right? And I had like guys. Oh my god, it's bringing back so many memories now. But there was a guy called Hazards, like with a 4 in his name instead of an A because he was cool. With like Z's on the end of his names, like ZZ Hazards, and he just used to do like modded lobbies. And we used to be on World at War at like midnight, which obviously back then is late, right? Super late.
Yeah.
And just like playing zombies, like just hoping that your parents don't come in and tell you to get off it. Yeah, I was playing Hell Let Loose recently, massively online. Well, bit Battlefield but bigger, realistic war scene, right? World War II. And there's voice chat and stuff, and you can connect through that, and there's other games that are similar to that. They're usually war games. But I was just thinking, I used to play with a guy from America called Super Salad, right? I know all the names. So we used to play COD 4, like, every other day, or what felt like every other day. But you just don't get that anymore. You don't meet friends online. It's kind of, you have your friends from real life, or maybe you have met them online, but it's not like, it doesn't feel the same. It's like, oh, get in the Discord. It's not... I'm sending you an Xbox message saying join my party, or sending you an invite. Or on PS3, I remember when I used to play on that sometimes, you would only have a certain amount of time, the title, the characters. So it would be like, if I wanted to send a long message, I checked some on PS3 the other day when I was babysitting, I'd have to put read below, so like the rest of the message would be below, and it would just be like some rubbish. But the days, man, the days.
Yeah, I agree with you. You can't just send a message to someone now being like, join my party, and it just be the same. I've gone back through old PS4 messages, like, of all my old friends who I used to play with, and half of them was just me messaging being like, join my party. Why are you not joining? Join my party. Looking like a sad being like, please join me.
Get in here. Getting home from school and just playing with people online. Speaking to people online, and it's kind of weird because I had a mixture of everything from like Nintendo DS, the PSP, PlayStation 3, just because my family's quite split, so I was just all around. Like, there's an Xbox at my nan's, I had an Xbox here, then I got a PC in like the end of 2014 for Christmas. So like, I've always kind of been involved. I'm happy. There's some people who are like, I wish I bought Bitcoin in 2010, but instead I was doing trick shots, right? I could have been a billionaire, but I'm doing trick shots. But I'm actually kind of happy. I mean, I was right. Obviously, you'd rather be a billionaire, right? If you could choose. But like, I'm still happy that we had those experiences. Because even like another game, which I don't know, well, it was Xbox only, but Halo.
Oh yeah,
Did you
I
ever
used to play a
play
bit of Halo.
Halo Reach like custom lobbies?
When I played Halo, I used to go around to my friend's house again
Right.
because
Okay.
he
Yeah.
used to be the one with the Xbox,
Right.
and he'd have Halo Reach, and we used to just join multiplayer like local lobbies
Yeah.
because we wouldn't have online because I remember his mum was like really strict. He wasn't allowed online or anything. So only local lobbies, me v him. And I just remember running around with like the energy sword,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
trying to slice him. That was my like Halo like experience.
Fortnite now, right? So Fortnite, there's a whole bunch of custom games, right? If you load it up, there's a whole bunch of custom games, or even like Roblox in that sort of sense. But we'll get into Roblox as well. But you'd be playing a multiplayer game of like Team Deathmatch or Slayer, or Infection, and then someone would send you an Xbox invite to a custom game. There'll be like all these Americans and British and Indians and whoever, right? Like 18 people, and it would be like mini games that someone's created on the Forge. So like, you know, so on Forge you could create your own maps essentially, and they've created like I don't know, maybe one of there was one where it's like one team is on warthogs, right? The vehicles coming down the ramp. One team's at the bottom. They have to jump to get to like not get hit off. And then obviously once they killed them all, that's the game over. Or there would be like an infection one where you make your way through the map, right? Two teams, infected, non-infected. You make your way through the map as you're getting chased by the infected, and you have to defend at certain points, like do obstacles and not get like infected. And then if you did die, you switch to the other team, and then you just like attack, basically. But it was just like all little mini games that people will come up with smart things, and it was just like the days. Same with Infected on Modern Warfare 3 private games. I don't know if you ever did that on the PlayStation, but they were fun.
I did gun game personally. I was a gun game kid.
Yeah.
I never did really Infected as often because, weirdly enough, I didn't actually have that many friends who used to do multiplayer. Like I had friends who did zombies like exclusively, but like multiplayer, like it was mainly just me grinding by myself.
Yeah.
I used to just play gun game as like the off game if I wanted to like have just fun. Gun game was a lot of fun.
But what would happen? Obviously, in Infected, the infected would have throwing knives, right? So
yeah.
When you're playing like in a multiplayer match, there's the games would end relatively quick because even if someone got up to like an outer map area, so you could just throw a knife them, right? But people used to join those games, play around, leave, create a custom lobby, turn off throwing knives, and then invite everyone they could on their recent players. Everybody would join, and then you'd just be there for like an hour trying to get one dude who's just sitting on like top of the plane or something, just hiding basically. And it's just like so much time wasted, but so much fun because you're just like this infected dude trying to lunge. People are just flying and falling and just
trying to jump on people's head to try and get that higher.
Yeah. Fucking dolphin diving and everything like that.
We've talked a lot about multiplayer games, but did you have like your like single player game, the one single player game that really sticks out in your mind and is like your favorite like single player franchise now, like when you think back on it?
It's kind of a mix between two, and I do have them both up here. One of them I used to play a lot was Dead Island, right?
So
Dead Island's up, which I mean it is a multiplayer, but you can play it single. It's not like co-op. It's co-op, multiplayer co-op. So that was a very fun one. Who Do You Voodoo Bitch and all that sort of stuff. And Lost Planet 2 used to be my single player. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've never heard of that game before.
It's a Capcom game, so it's Japanese, I want to say. Yeah, so give it a Google. Lost Planet 2. So there's Lost Planet 1, Lost Planet 2, Lost Planet 3. Lost Planet 1 is critically the best. I prefer Lost Planet 2, and Lost Planet 3 is garbage. But it's like I don't know, it's kind of hard to... It's on an alien world where they use heat energy called, like, thermal. And that's the energy of the world. And then you fight through, like, big, like, kaiju bosses and humans and big, like, the acrids, which are, like, big monsters and stuff. But it had like the campaign and chapters and stuff, and you'd kind of play through different factions. So you'd have like the Snow Pirate faction, the I don't know, the company faction, the whatever faction, Desert Bandits. And you used to have AI team. You get multiplayer people in, but it was AI teammates. And you would fight through the levels and complete tasks and whatever. But it was like a arcade shooter, but it had to. I quite like the story, and I still do.
It's like an arcade. It's like an arcade shooter, like boss rush kind of game. It looks like.
Yeah, you get like a boss at the end of every chapter, you know, and it all comes together in like a big finale where all the groups like head towards this big boss, and then you're like fighting up like this massive being, shooting and grappling, hooking,
like
and
drained Rock Johnson, just constantly.
You're just there. Honestly, it was such a good like game, and I obviously, so you haven't played that one, but when I said Dead Island, you kind of went
I like Dead Island, but I think there's a better zombie game, like single player. If you're gonna, actually, there's two I prefer.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but I'll let you say them.
Okay, one is Dead Rising.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But specifically Dead Rising 3.
Yeah.
Only, mainly it's because of the stupid combinations of like weapons and vehicles you can make.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Dead Rising 1, 2, and like 4, you don't get that. It's just like you get a baseball, but Dead Rising 3, they just went, you know what? Here's a ridiculous amount of zombies, and here's a car that's like got a clown on it that breathes fire. Have fun.
Here's a teddy bear on a trolley with two like M60s or whatever, and you push it and it shoots.
It's crazy, and it's just fun with so many zombies.
And the bosses, the mini bosses were great as well.
Oh god, I remember there's one woman in a this is really fat woman in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
That's what I remember vividly.
Oh.
Dead Rising was so good.
Yeah.
And then there's another one.
Yeah.
Which is Dying Light.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But that's because I love parkour. Like anything like parkour game related, it just calls to me. And when like added zombies into it, it was just like, oh hell yeah.
I never actually played Dying Light. I just did. I saw the hype. I saw the information. But obviously back then, it was kind of like 2014, right?
Yeah, 2014,
so
2015.
Even then, I was 12. Do you know what I mean? So 12, 13. So, like I didn't really I just got a PC. It wasn't good enough to run it. Obviously, you can get it on consoles. But I was just too busy playing like Black Ops 3, Zombies, and other things. So I saw it kind of came and then went by, and then Dying Light 2 came out like 2019, 2018, whatever it was, I think.
Dying Light 2's not
it. Good.
I don't have to. It didn't need a second game, and yet it made a second game. Like Dying Light already had its DLC that introduced like vehicles and such, and it was cool, but we didn't need a season 2 at all. But like season one season one of the game, like the first game, I don't know, it just had that like edge on it. Like you have so many different weapon varieties, you could trade with people, like you could play co-op with people, which was fun. And I remember like people would drop their weapons, and if you pick it up, they wouldn't get their weapon back. You could just troll people, running around the map parkouring. And like they did introduce like kind of like an infected mode, like Call of Duty. Though granted, it was not good, but you know they did try.
They gave it a go. To be fair, I see that game for like £1-2, like the first one on Steam sometimes. So maybe next time a sale comes around, I'll have to like pick it up and just give it a go.
Honestly, I'd try it. Like it's not long either. It's like a standard, game length. Like longer than 8 hours.
What would you say like standard game length is? Like, I'd say 8 for a campaign. But
really?
Yeah.
I'm talking like 20 hours.
That's not bad. It's not like it's...
That's like, to me, that's standard for a game. Like...
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of a game back in 2008.
As I think you're going off Call of Duty campaigns.
Yeah, and Dead Island as well.
If you just go through the game and just try and use, like the worst weapons, you don't explore.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably could do the game quicker, but if you just enjoy parkour, and you're probably just gonna go run around the entire map anyway.
Yeah. And there's one last game that I was actually, when we were talking then, I was thinking parkour, and it's a game I used to play a lot. I don't know if it's on PlayStation. I think it might be an Xbox exclusive. Crackdown.
Oh, you're not gonna say what thought you were gonna
No,
say.
what did you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say Sunset Overdrive.
No, but I did also play that.
So I remember that game. That
That game came and went as quick as anything.
literally came out with the Xbox release and then
Just
never.
died.
Yeah, it just never went anywhere.
I like it, yeah, but Crackdown. Well, Crackdown. Have you ever heard of it? Crackdown.
I've heard of Crackdown,
It's
but I don't think it was on PlayStation. If it was, I've never played it.
Crackdown, Crackdown 2, then Crackdown 3. It's kind of weird. Crackdown 1 is just about like you're an agent and there's criminal gangs and you take out each of the criminal gangs. There's a deck of 52, like obviously like cards, and they're like the gang leaders and bosses and whoever. You have to go around the map, killing them all, doing tasks and stuff. Crackdown 2, it's like you've now cleared the city, so there's things called freaks, which are basically like weird zombie alien things that come out of the ground, and there's like special variants of them. So now you have to go around the entire map again, clearing them out. And Crackdown 3 kind of goes back to the gangs, but I think they're different gangs this time. It's kind of weird, but it's a sandbox game, and you were just able to like run around the map, pick up like agility orbs, and you would have to like use these orbs. Or so if you shot a zombie or shot an enemy, you'd get these little balls, experience points, and then you would experience like level up, and your character would change. You would gain like a mask, or you'd get bigger, or you'd be able to jump higher. From like each orb, or if you threw an explosive and you killed a bunch of bad guys, you would get a bunch of explosive points, which will go into your little dial, kind of going around. It was just a very fun sandbox game, and there's a mode called, it's like basically a free mode, and you have like cheats, right? They give you cheats. You can spawn people in, you can god modes, and so what I used to do is like you could freeze the time of day, and I used to basically make like the good guys called the peacekeepers, right, fight the zombies. The freaks. I used to make like little arenas, because you could spawn in like barriers and cars and stuff. So I used to make like little outposts and pretend the zombies were attacking and things like. So many hours spent doing that. So many.
It's not so much we're going to talk about it, but I've got one question.
Okay.
At the very start of this video, or near the start, you said about Pokemon.
Yes.
What is your preferred Pokemon generation?
I can't remember what the generation is, but whichever one Pokemon Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum is. Is it Sinnoh?
Yeah. Oh, you like Gen 4.
That's only because I had somewhere around here. I have the games on DS, Pearl, Diamond, Platinum. That's in terms of playing. In terms of watching Pokemon, X, Y, and Z Kalos region. In terms of the anime, I haven't played like the games on the 3DS because I just had a normal Nintendo DS. So I'd say games, Sinnoh, anime, Kalos region.
Okay. And I guess Diamond and Pearl being for you makes more sense, I guess, because you're a year older than me. Because I'm Gen 5, I'm Black and White.
Right, okay, yeah.
Which is not really much, after your guys' games, but it's like a year or two after your games, so...
That they evolved quickly, Pokemon games. Like, each year of Pokemon, or, each game kind of, and they came out on, the Nintendo DS, then the 3DS, and as soon as it went 3D, it was just like...
Pokemon like started releasing games since 1995 or something.
Yeah,
it was like we had a new generation every like 2 years or something, 2 or 3 years. But then like even Black and White, we went from like Black and White to Black and White 2 within like a space of like a year or two. And then the 3DS was announced. I was like, here you go. Yeah. Here's a new Pokemon. At least I know your stance on Pokemon. At least you have good taste.
One last thing before we wrap up, and this is actually not a game, but it's just because we're talking about Pokemon. And I'm going to sing the theme song, and if you start singing it as well, then you've watched it, and if you haven't, I guess you haven't. Gotta catch 'em, gotta catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all Pokemon, gotta catch 'em, gotta catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all Pokemon. Pokemon, party, Pokemon, Pokemon.
I recognize it. I recognize it.
Pokemon Chronicles. Old friends, new adventures, never seen stories from the world of Pokemon.
I feel like I remember this.
Search at Pokemon Chronicles.
This
is what you're going to be watching tonight.
Pokemon Chronicles.
I had it on DVD. I don't know if I still have it, but I think I do.
I recognize the song you were singing.
Such a catchy song. Such like great individual. Some of them had like episodes like Misty and Brock. Some of them were new characters. They had like the Do you know the legendary Pokemon, but they're dogs, and it's like the lightning one and the fire one, and
Yeah.
they had those in them, and they were just like, because I had on DVD, I just used to play them on repeat. So
I know. I can see it now. He's on volume 3 on eBay.
they were good. I don't know where they are now, but they were really good. But yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us on this episode. Hopefully you guys learned something about us other than anime.
Yeah. We are human beings, okay?
we
have
enjoy playing
lives.
games.
I know I got Star Wars posters and I'm a nerd, but we have lives. Talk about more nerdy things. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I mean, thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you very much, Connor.
Goodbye, people.
Hope you.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Sorry. Goodbye.
Huh?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.